Hello, hello. Someone else sloughed off work and now it's your turn.
Sick. This is nice. Better than what I had before. Well, at least it doesn't scream test subject.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of The Upload. We're talking about the optic and how it's changed our lives. Now, as you remember, Bloom announced a new version of the optic at the recent Tone conference, but we haven't heard too much about that since due to the dramatic events there. Let's cast our minds back and consider the technology. I mean, the optic changed everything. It lets you see things in AR. You no longer need a smartphone. You just have the small implant that sends signals to your optic nerve and lets you see your emails, take calls, and browse the internet directly as if the screen was in front of your eyes. Instead of having to carry around a phone, you've just got the small handheld unit. So much lighter and so much more convenient. It's great.
Vicky, you sound like you absolutely love the Optic. Do you actually think that it's made our lives any better?
I mean, sure, it's definitely made things a lot easier. It's so simple to call someone now. All you have to do is choose who you want to chat to, and they're there, ready to talk. And browsing the web is so much easier. I remember when you used to have to sit down at a computer with an actual keyboard and mouse and type everything out. And my favourite feature is public transport. With the Optic, you can just walk straight onto the tube. It even acts as a passport. No longer do I have to dig around and try and find my old paper passport just to travel somewhere. Also, I thought that Optic's marketing strategy, making it free for people, was a stroke of genius.
Genius. Bloom was really calculated when it was doing that. It was pushing this draconian device on us at all. Sure, everybody flocked to it. There was free Wi-Fi and phone plans. That definitely helped, but it wasn't a case of this is a product that you need in your life.
Why do you hate it so much?
It's just the worst because you had to give up your privacy expectations and accept surveillance. It was almost like the government in Bloom didn't even need to make the Optic mandatory. Making it mandatory was only to get the last holdouts across the line. The free data internet use, fines and arrests from the state for not having the Optic. Pretty much doing that. They don't talk about it.
You look like you could stand up and fight for these streets.
Well, if you're with DedSec, I got some information you might be able to use.
Keep talking.
My whole division just got sacked. Boom. Just like that. No severance package, nothing.
God, that's fucking awful. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, it's fucked up. But I'm getting by. The whole thing doesn't sit right with me, though. They said we were all replaced, but how could they have hired 300 skilled tech workers so fast? Nah, they're up to something.
So you want DedSec to find a replacement, that it?
Nailed it. I'll owe you whatever the fuck you want if you help me out with this.
A tech corporation acting unethically? Sounds out of character, but let's investigate anyway.
Right, I'll look into it.
Search.
That they've been able to create an encrypted signal, which means that your world might have a chance of becoming a bit more private again, so you could go back and enjoy all the great things about Optic without that fear of surveillance.
With the Optic, privacy's dead.
Richard Salter spent a fortnight living amongst London's homeless. Join GBB tonight for Hidden Homeless, the untold story of London's forgotten people.
Welcome back to The Upload. Today we're talking about cryptocurrency. Crypto now seems like it's been around forever, but it's really quite a new invention. Were you an early adopter?
I was one of the first that was in this market. There seemed to be a new way of financial transactions, a new way of money. It's something that we could completely reinvent and change some of the legacy financial systems around the world and really give power back to the people.
Yeah, it was a real shift in the way that the world works. And let's recap the basics. So, central to cryptocurrency is the distributed ledger technology, the tech that keeps track of all transactions. And what the
You've arrived at our contact's former employer, and aside from some heavily armed security guards, it's basically a ghost town.
Interesting.
I don't think this replacement is on site. Dig around and see if you can figure out where they are. You can do your corporate espionage from there.
Assemblies of over 5 humans will be distracted. Gatherings of more than 5 humans is a crime.
Sending data now.
Copy that. I'll analyze the company records while you get to safety.
What you got, Bagsy?
Well, I found our prospect's replacement. It's an AI. And a pretty shoddy one at that. Nowhere near as smart as me. It could maybe replace a few million humans at most.
Fucking hell!
Oh, right. I suppose from your perspective that's a lot. If you like, we can go destroy it before it puts anyone else out of work.
Right by me. Give me the location. Okay, what is going on?
There was outrage. I mean, some parts of London were already using crypto as their primary currency by then.
And now, apparently, or at least in theory, crypto is illegal.
Yeah, in May this year, economists found that crypto was being traded more than the pound, and banks were not happy. They basically forced the government to ban cryptocurrency in a last-ditch effort to save the pound.
But it's not like that's worked. People are still using crypto, and it's been pushed further, deeper underground. Things used to work fine with crypto, and it was just a peer-to-peer sharing economy-style system. Now it's all on the dark web and wrapped up again in organised crime.
Yeah, if you want to make something thrive on the black market, just make it illegal.
Nibbling away on the rotting carcass of a once free Britain.
Yum yum.
Hello, Resistance fans. You're listening to the Punk Podcast, the objective voice of objection for this most objectionable world. I am Andy, not my real name, so good luck finding me, Monsieur Bloom. My real name is, in fact, Andrew, and I live in, note this down, a deluded pseudo-reality of my own making, which is, in fact, the most densely populated place on Earth these days, overcrowded, some might say. Joining me, as always, my next door neighbour in these Netherlands of nonsense, it's Alice.
Yes, indeed, it is Alice. Alice, who the bleep is Alice? I am not going to tell you that. But
I'll be and chase them all across the city.
The job-killing AI's code blueprint has been packed up into a crate on site.
I guess it's time to fuck some shit up.
Oh wait, it gets better. They continued to chase, but ran into rush hour traffic. Instead of stopping, the getaway driver just sailed through as cars moved aside. Guessing those cars were cracked.
I need that car.
You found it, now find some way to destroy it.
Sure thing, okay. I guess. Why me? Sure thing, okay. I guess. Why me? Waiting area crime report. Yeah, okay.
Better keep a low profile here. Yes, please.
Clear. Let's keep looking. Check your doors and corners.
Seems Albion has a surveillance network in Lambeth that makes 1980s East Germany look like present-day East Germany. I'm sure the people of Lambeth will be interested to know just how closely they are being watched.
Seeing anything here. Moving elsewhere.
AI successfully murdered. Now get to safety and I'll send our friend the good news.
Oi, you're definitely gonna want to take a seat for this. You weren't replaced by a human. They got fucking AI to do your job.
You serious?
Yeah, the company behind this AI wanted to put thousands of people out of work. DedSec stopped that shit, though.
Thank you.
Hey, our squad always needs new blood. You in?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready to make a difference.
Terminating the search.
DedSec, fam. We're getting smarter, faster, and madder every day.
Fuck yeah. Ready to help make a difference.
Fuck yeah.
Creep.
Nothing shakes people's faith in capitalism quite as much as when capitalism fails to deliver. Here's underground writer and analyst Alfie with the politics of poverty.
I think what we've come to now is a realisation that capitalism has essentially failed. I mean, the one key promise of capitalism that it makes to its citizens is that there will be surplus, that we will have plenty, and that's the whole logic for running society this way, that people will have enough. And now, with these kind of huge shortages of everything, you're seeing that system collapse. It hasn't delivered on its primary promise. And I think we've really reached the situation where we have to do away with capitalism entirely. We're seeing a situation where there's shortages for the many, but for a few individuals, there's an elite who are not struggling and short of anything. So this is kind of fundamental inequality of a capitalist system, which is no longer producing the goods for most of us. Shortages are being used as well. I'm not saying that there isn't a real shortage there. There possibly is real shortages, but shortages are being used as an excuse for those in power, those elites, to keep what they want and not give to the rest of us what we need. So the excuse that there's simply not enough to go around is the justification for maintaining a kind of power of the 1% and leaving the rest of us short.
So if you're starving hungry tonight, if your parents can't get their medicine and your brothers and sisters have to steal to eat, remember, it's all for the good of Albion, or Clank, or someone, just not us. But that's going to change. You've been listening to Buccaneer with me, Tash. Keep spreading the word and keep sharing the podcast. There's enough of everything out there for all of us. We just need the guts to take it back.
Last year, nearly half of British parliamentarians were absent for more than 60% of votes. Even our Prime Minister recently set a record for most days spent outside the country in a calendar year. So who's running the show? Join us on GBB tonight to find out.
You're listening to The Bug.
Nibbling away on the rotting carcass of a once free Britain. Hello, resistors, this is The Bug, keeping the fire of hope alive in the vacuum of today's Britain. Okay, fires don't burn in vacuums. It's a little novelty Christmas light, shaped like a flag, but it's something. It is something to cling to. Joining me, as always, is Alice. And Alice, hold the front page. Technology apparently is here to stay. There's no way around that now. Much as I'd like to go back to the 18th century and see if we can have another crack at the Industrial Revolution and get it less wrong this time. But
UTech is creating 4,000 jobs.
I'm dead sick, and you seem to have a problem. Obviously. What's up?
God, really? I thought you might be interested in my date last night.
Oh, my adrenal glands are tingling.
Not like that. He was just this normal man, very arrogant, spoke about how he can expense whatever he wants because he has dirt on his boss.
What's that to me?
Because he works for Jack Heath, CEO of Evangeline's auction house. Heath could interest you. Many of his clients are literal criminals. I expect him to be one too. So this dirt my date's got, it's likely something serious.
Would you see him again?
Can't. I met him on Puller, and he has already changed his preferences. I'm not his type anymore. He's all yours.
I'll take a look.
It seems our man Gareth Hendricks updates his preferences nearly every day. Right now, he's looking for a professional getaway driver.
You serious?
He must want a thrilling criminal romance. I mean, I get it. I once had a fling with a North Macedonian botnet. We'll need to find someone who fits the bill. I found someone who matches Hendricks' preferences. Pushing you their location now.
Or skill they need the ability to pretend that they are living happy and fulfilled lives, that they have jobs that are worth doing, and that they're making the planet a better place, and that they control their own destinies, and that they have even a parody of a private life, and that they can smile without crying. That's what drama teaches them to do. Crucial skills in this day and age. Of course, it's not just the jobs that have been technologicalised beyond all recognition. It is also all reality. Thanks once again to Optic. According to Bloom, the Optic system is now the most secure it's ever been. And, well, of course, it's so convenient, Optic, isn't it? It saves us so much time and hassle trying to exist in the kind of realm of reality. I don't even need to bother with that. I mean, sure, the government has hacked into my soul and now basically monitors my every waking moment and thought. But at least I don't have to type, where's my nearest coffee shop, into a search engine. At least I don't have to waste anything between 8 and 12 seconds every day going online to look up how to make a bowl of muesli. And at least I'm not frittering away my precious mental energies thinking, what do I actually think?
Optic is so secure, Andy. It's more secure than a teenage girl reading a women's magazine. It's more secure than a comedian with a drinking problem. It's more secure than a young man who's just got his first motorcycle license.
Finally, before we go today, bug off to the Prime Minister, who has once again FRO'd to who knows where this week. Who cares how he's not really lovely.
Hey, you look like a fighter without a cause. Am I reading you right?
Ah, dead sec then. Good. Just so happens we need a few heavies to back me up on something. This gangster fuck stabbed me in the back, and I want your help returning the favour. The more literally, the better.
That's not really what DedSec is about, mate.
Fine. Lots of ways to make a man suffer. I'm a car thief, and this prick was my former employer. I boosted this ultra-lux roadster for the prick, and he decides he wasn't going to pay. Tried to run me down instead. I got away, but that fucker still got the car. Can't let that stand.
If you help me out with this, I'll do plenty in return.
Oh, my adrenal glands are tingling.
Piss off.
Our friend sent us the location of the car. Passing it on to you now.
Who are listening, who are lucky enough not to be here in London's chaotic scenes, it's worth remembering that the telecoms tower is now owned by Bloom. The tower looms over northwest London. It's always been a communications hub, acting as part of the UK's television and communications network, although there's been some secrecy around its use. And now
I used to love coming here.
It's only even more secret.
Yet now everything that's part of Bloom's city surveillance operation is run through the telecoms tower. And I have to say, it looks completely ridiculous. It's got that silly crown thing at the top and all the blue light.
What's that even about? What does it do? I don't see that there's any purpose to that at all.
It's a blight on the skyline, if you ask me, and it's become the main point of control for millions of people. The System Network and Bagley are both operated and streamed from there too.
And don't forget about the self-driving cars too.
I always thought they were just running on their own.
No, CTOS is the big control system behind the cars. There was a point back in the earliest days of self-driving car technology that they operated by themselves. They used to use a series of sensors to see the world around them. Radar, for instance, would look far off into the distance, while LiDAR would detect objects nearby. And while these cars still use some of this technology, Bloom CTOS and its detailed maps and data that it has on London really makes Bloom be able to take control of it. And CTOS can take control of your car if you're parked incorrectly. It's no surprise that it was made mandatory to have a self-driving car.
The system is so bad, though. It's so annoying. Whenever I try to use one of the shareable self-driving cars, I always find myself stuck in traffic jams or roadblocks. Not to mention the accidents. I've heard so many stories of cars shunting into the back of others. I think they're worse than human drivers sometimes.
The technology was meant to make things better, but Bloom has made it so bad that it just makes London even more chaotic than it was before. I'm giving up on the cars. I'm only using the bikes, which are not self-driving at the moment, at least. And don't even get me started on the data. Everything that Bloom sees from your movements around the city and the self-driving cars is collected and feeds back into its big information control system.
Oh, not you and Bloom and privacy again. You're a broken record.
Not as broken as our city's cars.
Terrorist attacks are taking place.
You're listening to The Bug.
May cause nausea, vomiting and headaches. You're listening to The Bug, the Resistance comedy show brought to you by the Buccaneer Network. I'm Andy. Joining me...
The car should be on site here. Try to get it out in one piece.
Will do.
Get them sectioned.
That will be the shimmering willy compensator there.
It's done.
If you ever need anything from me, and I mean anything, just say the word.
You could really make a difference, you know. Join DedSec instead of sitting home on your arse.
Thought you'd never ask.
Hope you're ready to teach the powers that be a lesson. Welcome to DedSec.
Brilliant. Finally found my people.
Hells yes!
What? Why me?
Hello, I'm sorry to tell you, but your dating preferences have been hacked by me.
What the fuck?
Oh, calm down. I did it for a mission, mostly. Seems you're a match with our friend Gareth Hendricks, and I had to get his attention. Go and meet him over at Seven Dials Pub. The Resistance needs your charms.
Fine.
Please, help. You there, ID check. Now.
Me? No, you've got the wrong person.
No moving during the scan. Your profile has triggered an alert.
But why? I'm legal. Believe me.
Be quiet. You're under arrest.
Nibbling away on the rotting carcass of a once free Britain.
Yum yum.
Hello, Bugs. This is Bug. I'm Andy. This is Alice, and today we're going to be pretending that everything is fine. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it? That was as long as I could manage. That's a second and a half. A reality time now, however. And, well, finally today, we're going to road test the latest update to the CSA app. The app that has brought the great British tradition of snitching on people who don't like back to the very heart of public life, the school playground. I'm going to tell a new threat, It's got a whole new lease of life these days, thanks to CISA. And isn't Britain all the more fun because no more grumbling about your neighbours playing their music too loud, just simply report them to the state and have them, shall we say, involuntarily rehoused at Hotel Gas, the chain of hotels that was formerly known as the prison service. What was the slogan? Was it, if you see something, say something, or if you think you might at some point see something, say something, or if you haven't seen anything but don't like someone, say something anyway. Well, let's have a look at this new app. Alice, I'm sure you've got it on your phone. At first glance, but the interface is lovely. It's so neatly designed. A simple button to snitch on someone. That's so much better than non-government informer apps like Stoolies, Captain Harry or not. I mean, look, I just need to geocache where the person I'm ratting on currently is. Let's call her, for the sake of argument, Alice.
Sorry, Andy, I was busy reporting you to the authorities for rolling your eyes when passing a Nigel Cass propaganda poster.
Can you not let me report you first, please? Let's have some decorum about this. I'll just take a quick little photo so they can get a drone to pick you out of the crowd at the next ride, trip to the shops, look in the woods. And you can input your accusations with the app. Let's go old school. Let's call the phone line. Let's call the phone line. Here's the number, listeners, in case you want to drop something.
Remember, we need his intel on his boss, so be up for anything.
Grand. Hey.
Well, this is always an expectation versus reality moment, isn't it?
Reality's all that matters. Everything else is delusion.
Agreed. Can I shout you a lager?
Yeah, sure. You're not a counterfeiter or something, are you?
Hardly, but yeah, I'm charging it to my boss, so don't be shy.
Fucking hell. Quite a tale.
That's right. If it's rare, Jack Heath is there, converting it into yachts and cars. He doesn't care that it's stolen or part of some culture's heritage. And yours truly has got his number.
What does he use it all for? Does he have a gallery or something somewhere?
Fuck no. He's all about the money. He just facilitates the sales for the ones with the layers for a substantial fee.
Careful. All this talk of crime and danger's revving me up.
Another?
Fine. Someone just shoot me, please.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
Let's talk about something else.
All right, fill us in, and don't skip the details.
The short version is that Hendricks' boss, Jack Heath, is smuggling Egyptian artifacts for some unknown third party who's paying him a fortune. Couldn't quite get the long version out of him, though.
Sounds like we need to call up someone a bit closer to the action. Let me introduce you to Sabra Gamal, DedSec Cairo's intel expert. She's like their more fallible version of me. Sabra, this is DedSec London. London, Sabra.
Hey, what's up?
We found some English cunts smuggling artifacts out of Egypt. Sound like anything you've got going on?
Sure does. We've long suspected Egypt's Minister for Antiquities of robbing government archives and funneling the proceeds to an extremist insurgent group. If your contact is part of the operation, it could be the break we need.
Interesting. Got anything else?
Yeah, he is a scumbag.
Masalama. We're gonna need hard evidence, documents, if we're gonna pursue this. We should send someone new after Hendricks.
He certainly does mix it up. Now he's looking for a DJ. Maybe he wants to cut a single with his Todger.
Grand. Just grand.
I found someone who matches Hendrix's preferences. Pushing you their location now.
Must comply.
That was fun. Remember that? I mean, was it an illusion all the time? Who cares? It felt fun. I miss cash, particularly coins. I really miss coins. The fun of doing a heads or tails best of 5 to see if you had to go to the gym again. The best of 7, best of 9. That was a long losing streak. Now with crypto, all the romance has gone out of heads and tails.
I miss romance, Andy. I miss there being mystery in life and not just a hope that your department is hacking to find out all the information the government has from you.
Right now, bug bands. Keep feeding the imperial resistance, and one day it will grow into a Tyrannosaurus Rex that will use the Cass family as toothpicks. Don't argue.
1.5 billion passengers a year.
Across 450 kilometers of network.
25,000 cameras work with 3,500 new security barriers.
To protecting our 200 kilometers of tunnels.
But we're more than just stats.
We're reliable.
We're dependable.
We're safe.
London Underground. Getting people where they need to go with sensations that you do. Safely.
They'll never know what hit.
Wait, you can't fucking talk right now. I'm on recon.
Tell me about her bags.
She's an activist who's been trying to gather intel on Albion personnel movements through the city. Looks like she wants to stay one step ahead of the goons. Smart.
We ought to help her out. Might convince her to join.
Understood. The easiest way to obtain the data would be to steal an Albion heavy assault vehicle and dissect its onboard sat-nav. That would give us a clear picture of Albion's recent movements.
All right. I'll give it a go. CTOS has this one flagged as a hitman. How have they not been picked up?
Urgent call.
Got the vehicle. Now what?
I can confirm that the onboard hard drive contains all the data our friend could need. Pushing you a suitable drop-off point.
I'm going.
Control, we need medical assistance at my location. Over. Control, we're in pursuit. Over. How did they get past the checkpoint? Brace for impact. I'm in pursuit of the target. checkpoint.
Target is long gone. Disengage. Over and out.
Our activist friend has come to collect the vehicle.
I'll go speak with her then.
You ought to know your place.
Bloody weather, am I right? Yeah, you're in my bubble now.
Feeling ready to fight?
Let's do it.
That's what I thought. Now get the hell out of here.
I suppose it's better than walking.
So before the media fragmented, there was this voice of authority that was trusted and worthy of trust. Then what we ended up with is a really commercial model where whether you're talking about an app on a smart device or whether you're talking about a broadcaster, the most important thing was to keep you in that environment for the longest amount of time possible.
I can't fucking wait to get more of it.
Call me old-fashioned, but when your AI mentioned a data delivery, I expected something a bit less analog.
Bagley has a quirky sense of humour, but you'll find everything you need in this thing's hard drive.
Damn straight. With that data, my friends and I can stay ahead of those Albion fucks. Just say how I can repay you.
Hey, you know what? You're exactly the kind of person DedSec is looking for. You should join us. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm ready to make a difference.
You joining us is totally awesome. Welcome to DedSec.
Fuck yeah. Ready to help make a difference.
Brill.
You're up. And with any luck, Hendrix will be too. He'll be waiting for you in a gazebo near the Duck Cottage.
That's disinformation. That's fake news. And again, we got in a situation where nobody really believed anything. And the trouble is if you were telling the truth, it's very hard to get your message to cut through all of the noise of all of the disinformation that's there. So like, remember out on the edges, there was this story about when they would take a house by force, they would take any infants and they would crucify them. And that's a great, fantastic, viral story. How do you counter that story? With the truth. The only way you can counter it is by saying, no, they didn't. And of course, no one wants to spread that story. No one wants to hear that story. They want to hear the sensationalism. They want to hear how people were victims of violence when in fact they were. Or they were victims of insurgent forces in the past.
The news is it's a battleground. Here's media researcher and academic.
The media has, of course, been perhaps the key way in which governments have controlled and influenced their populations. So, totalitarian countries have typically used huge mainstream media outlets to sell one kind of news, one bias news to its population. Of course, the media has always played this kind of key role in the methods of state control. I think what's happening now is perhaps even concerning, where you've previously been pre-crisis Britain, you had perhaps more diverse voices in the media, but now with the GBB, you're really only seeing one brand of news and therefore only getting one truth. So people end up with a very biased and controlled idea of the reality and the world that we're actually living in. There was, of course, many concerns and many problems, but in a way there were some positive things that, like, not all information...
Hendrix might be the roundiest man on the planet, but he's not stupid. It'll take more than you batting your eyelashes to get those incriminating files on Heath out of him.
Let's do it.
Come on, give yourself up.
Hiya.
Hey, Sorry about the surroundings. I thought it might make a nice break from the pub, but now I feel like feeding the ducks and complaining about my back.
Oh, don't get me started on my back.
Hopefully, that's where this ends.
Hold up. How about we sit a second and talk first?
Sorry, couldn't resist. Come on, let's have a seat.
That job seems stressful.
Used to be. Since I've got that file, I take everything in stride, you know? Nothing worries me anymore.
Isn't that a bit worrying? If his friends are bad guys, couldn't he just... Well, aren't you afraid he'll ask his buddies to do something nasty to you?
I have to admit, I'm getting off on the danger.
Speaking of getting off...
Right.
You two lovebirds have fun?
Not bad. We've got to get to his office. That's where he's keeping an encrypted file with a record of Heath's illicit transactions.
Sending the location. Not the nicest area. And here, Hendricks seemed like such an innocent and clean-living fella. All right, let's just say this is physical coordination training. I'll keep track of your score.
Ha! I'm bloody amazing! That's how you do it! Oh, fuck me! Shit! Fuck yes! I'm making it look easy. Nice! Gotta find the rest.
That's it. No more games. Now we both know you have what I want, so just give it up already. Now, you twat.
Subject drink.
Self-driving cars are just like free cars.
Auto drive now enabled. I think official polls are like the unsolicited dick pics that the government provides us. I didn't ask for it, I don't believe it, it's on an angle, you've artificially inflated it ahead of time, and anyone that falls for one deserves all the disappointment of trying to match it to reality. These polls are absolute rubbish, Andy. I read one the other day that said the plumbing in London was good, and it absolutely is not. I mean, well, we have this technology now where they can spy on my every bowel movement. There's a CTOS camera installed inside my underwear drawer. A media drone is scaring the birds off my garden bird feeder, and you can't get me consistently hot water.
Speaking of media drones, I mean, they're everywhere, clearly. The great thing, I guess, about media drones is that, as inanimate robots, they actually have more humanity, compassion and dignity than the human journalists we used to have to put up with a much more accurately calibrated moral compass. But it's the intrusion I can't stand, Alice. I'm in showbiz. Look at me here in this...
Auto drive now disabled.
And it's terrible for me, all these drones knowing I'm being filmed all the time. Every day I have to make sure I've done my hair and makeup and make wearing clothes better than before. And we all have crosses to bear.
At this point, they've installed so many CTOS cameras, I'm not sure.
You're in. Now find the thing.
going on. Spit up! Moving on. Find them! Fucker could be anywhere.
The spot is clear. I'll keep searching.
This shouldn't be off.
Keep looking. They must be here somewhere. What? Oh shit! Another one down.
I'm not looking for trouble.
You don't want trouble. What the fuck is this one going? You're in Clan Kelly land now.
Hey! What the?
Nothing's here. I'll look somewhere else.
I've got nothing.
Oh shit! Gotta tell him the bastard got away! Shotgun on! Oh! Just give up
Time to pick up where your teammate left off. I'm sure they'll thank you once they stop eating through a tube.
But they're fine, right? So let's get on with it.
Hey, pay attention.
You're in. Now find the thing.
hear that? We've got a creeper. What's going on here?
Just unconscious. Maybe the headache will teach you a lesson. All right, I'm in.
Leave it to me. I cloned the drive, but I can't seem to read it. He's probably using a hardware security module for encryption. Without it, this will take a very, very long time. We can discuss it later. Get out of here.
Bagley, help us out, yeah?
I can decrypt it without Hendrix's master key, if you don't mind putting this project on the back burner for the next 26 years.
Time to load up Puller.
Quite. Hendrix has, of course, updated his dating preferences again. Eclectic bugger, isn't he?
Who is it this time? King Tut.
This time he's looking for a spy, although I don't know what kind of spy would give away their secret identity on an unsecured anonymous dating site.
Yep.
I found someone who matches Hendrix's preferences, pushing you their location now.